Hi everyone, sit back and enjoy! Ever since the Industrial Revolution, coal, oil, and gas have been fundamental building blocks of our world. And yet, have you ever thought about what will happen if our world does not have these building blocks? Well, without crude oil, we wouldn't have plastic, roads, airplanes, trains, and cars. And also, without gas, we wouldn't be able to cook. But what's happening now? We haven't been able to perfect the technology for solar power, wind power, or water power. Our fossil fuel reserves, which have provided energy for hundreds of years, are clearly being depleted far faster than they are produced. So what humans are trying to do is to find a way to extract fossil fuels which can, at the very least, keep us in operation until we can invent better renewable resource extraction methods. And recently, man has successfully discovered a new method called hydraulic fracking. Well, to understand the concept of hydraulic fracking better, let's first look at a model of the Earth. The Earth is separated into several layers. As you can see, the soil, as well as the aquifer, which is a light blue part, also limestone, and beneath it, the shale. This new method drills deep into the Earth, drilling past the soil, the several aquifer layers in the Earth's crust, and finally it enters into the shale, which is a layer of oily rock. The shale contains the natural gas that we want to tap. Once in the shale, the drill starts to bend sideways. Then the drill is withdrawn, and a steel casing is placed into the hole. We are now ready for the next step. The natural gas, as we know, is deep in the shale, so how do we coax it out and collect it for commercial use? This is done by inserting a pipe gun into the steel casing. Explosives are fired, causing cracks to appear in the casing and the rock. What happens next is that a mixture of 90% of water and 9.5% of sand is injected into the cracks to fracture them even more. This fluid remains in the fractures and keeps them apart, even when the injection of fluid has stopped and the pressure is relieved. This helps the natural gas in the shale to flow through the cracks and be collected in the casing more easily. This area is then isolated and sealed by a specially designed plug. Then, the process of fracturing and injecting fluid is repeated along the entire length of the pipe in order to extract more natural gas. Enough theoretical talking. Let's now witness a harvesting. First coming through is a stimulation mixture of water and sand injected into the cracks, followed by the natural gas. Now extracted, it is ready to be used commercially. Fracking benefits large countries since more resources can be extracted without having to rely on imports. Hydraulic fracking means not only an economic advantage, but also promotes environmental friendliness because natural gas burns far cleaner than coal or heavier crude oil compounds. Coincidentally, the 7 largest shale reserves are all in the US, which comes as a benefit as it no longer needs to rely on coal and it can extract cheaper resources. 3 largest reserves contain over 1.3 million barrels of oil each, which can somewhat alleviate the American fuel need, though it uses as much as 6.6 billion barrels of oil a year. Unfortunately, fracking also has several downsides, many of which are potentially harmful. For example, the explosive and hydraulic fracturing could potentially blast through the steel casing, letting gas and fracking fluid escape into the aquifer where many underground rivers lie, and any spillage may be very detrimental to the ecosystem. However, scholars from Yale University concluded that not even the costs of drilling or unrealistically possible incidences of pollution can come close to balancing the societal and economic benefits of shale gas.